What's up, guys? I'm here, Colin, aka Moldy912, and I've got my Audio-Technica ATH-M50 studio monitor headphones in the color white, and here's the review. So, I'm kind of doing this off the top of my head based on what I've done. So, I would say that I've burned these in for about 30 hours or so, and people say that's a good amount of time to burn in a new pair of headphones. I've been listening to them while I was burning them in, so I could actually hear them change and everything. Um, I my first impression, even just putting them on the first hour or so that I listened to them, it was ridiculously awesome. These headphones are crazy good. I could not think of a better way to spend $161. I just bought this TV here that I'm looking at. It was $660. I thought that was a great deal. This for $161, I think this is even better, a better deal. It's the best buy that I've done since I've been saving up money, really, besides the Xbox and my Mac here. Those two have been really good purchases that I've made in the past. But this is awesome. And I'm going to try to give some more detail to that. So, yeah, my first impression was that it was awesome. And I've said awesome way too many times, but it's hard to think of another word. I'd say awesome, fantastic, good, awesome. I'm trying to think of another word. Let's split it up. Okay, so we got bass, mids, lows, highs, etc. The bass is great. I've never listened to other good headphones, but I would imagine that this bass is, compared to something like Beats by Dre, I hear that the bass on those is almost overpowering sometimes. This is it has an appropriate amount of bass, and songs that have, even dubstep, something like that, tons of bass, perfect. But something that's supposed to be maybe classical music, or just something that has less bass, you won't hear that bass, and that's good. You don't want to hear it because it's not the emphasis of the rhythm or the tune of the song, and so that's great. The mids and the low, or mids and the highs, they're also great. Like I said, classical music. I haven't tried classical music, but I would imagine that it sounds pretty crisp and clear, very clear sound. Which brings me to my next point. If you've watched videos about really good headphones, you've probably heard the cliche saying, you've heard things in songs that you've never heard before. And while I really don't want to say that, I kind of have to, because I've heard instruments that I've never heard. I've heard lyrics that I've never heard. And I'm not some stupid idiot crazy person who just doesn't listen to music. I just hear it. I listen to it sometimes. And so I know the lyrics for a lot of the songs that I listen to. And so when I hear some stuff that I've just never heard before, I'm like, wow, they're just great. I'm trying to think of a song. Here's an example of this. Let's say you have low bitrate music in your collection, and you might have gotten it from a place that's not that credible. Your music. You may have downloaded some of it off of LimeWire 5 years ago or something. It's a low bitrate, like 190 or something. Well, 190 is not too low, I guess. What's another one? 124? Something like that. Low bitrate. And you listen to it on these headphones. I would say that if you listen to it on your laptop or your desktop speakers, you would probably hear them as decent. It wouldn't be too bad, and maybe if you didn't pay attention to it, you would say that sounds good. But if you listen to this, and I have a lot of music that's not the best bit rate. I'd say a lot of it's 124 or something like that. You will get very frustrated listening to those songs. I ended up skipping songs that were low bit rate. What I would do is I would hear it, and if it felt weird in my ears, I guess, if it tickled my ears in the wrong way, shivered me timbers, then I would look up the bit rate in iTunes. I'd say, whoa, that's low, it's 124 or 190. I'm like, this sucks. And yeah, it really does suck because, there's not much you can do other than buy the music, I guess, if you downloaded it illegally or something. But I do have a solution for that. And I also want to remind you, it's not the headphones. When you hear crappy music in these headphones, it's not the headphones' fault usually, especially these. It's really just low bit rate. If you go to Spotify or Groove Shark or Last.fm or even YouTube Music, you will hear them as very high quality, and it may sound better than your iTunes music. I actually listened to a Ludacris song. It was My Chick Bad, and I was like, wow, this sounds really crappy. It was a low bit rate, like I thought, and then I went on to Spotify. I listened to the same song. There was no distortion, no noise, none of that. It sounded beautiful, and it was probably a higher bit rate, as in like 256 kilobytes per second or something. And I think that's the sweet spot. Anything 256 and higher should sound great. Fantastic, actually. But the solution is something called iTunes Match. Try to spell that out for you if you can read backward. No, is it back? Yes, backwards. Yeah, iTunes Match. They introduced this last summer or so. It's basically for people who downloaded music illegally. Let's face it. But what it does is it charges you $25 per year. And what you can do is you can have all your music uploaded to the cloud, as everyone's doing these days, and it basically matches the music to a cloud version, and you can actually download those cloud versions. And so the reason why this would work is you can use iTunes Match to download 256 kilobyte per second songs of all the songs that it can match. Not everything will match. If you have really obscure, weird music, it has to be in the iTunes store, and if it matches, then there's a way to download those songs and replace the low bit rate versions that you have with those 256 kilobyte ones. And you only have to do it with the ones that are lower than that. So the 320 kilobytes and the 256 that you already have, you don't need to re-download those because they're already pretty high bit rate. And if you download a lot of music that way, it's going to take a while. Music like that's probably 10 megabytes per song, so that's a lot, especially if you have thousands of songs. Luckily, I don't yet. Let's see. I think that covers audio quality. They sound great. I can't stress to you enough that I really have heard things that I've never heard before in my music, ever. And so that's really awesome. Everything sounds clear. Human voices, they sound so beautiful in these cups. It sounds like the person's right there. And the stereo sounds. I've been listening to, or I've been watching YouTube videos of Grand Theft Auto mods. And I know that sounds really weird, but I watch them. And this guy called Insane Gaz, shout out to him. He makes videos of himself destroying cars that are mod cars, so like real life cars. He puts them in the game, and he destroys them. And then at the end of the video, he will do a wraparound video shoot, and the camera will just pan around the whole car, and you can hear the engine switch from cup to cup because the car's engine is on different sides of the video. And so things like that, it's just, wow, that really feels like I'm the camera, I'm there, and I'm moving around this car, even though you're not really doing it in real life. Let's see, I think that's it for that. Now let's talk about the looks. So I'm wearing them like this. This is the typical douchey way to wear headphones. All your Beats by Dre friends are probably wearing them right now like this. And while that's cool, the even better thing about these headphones compared to Beats by Dre is this. Watch. What? What did I just do? That's right. I rotated them. I just rotated the cups to be flat on my chest, so you can see. Yeah. Flat on my, well, they're not really, it's not really my chest. It's more like my collarbone, right below the collarbone. And so they'll sit flat, and then they can see that people can watch this nice metallic ring that's around here. I'm just kidding. That looked really suggestive, didn't it? And then we got the nice metal bands that extend, and then on the back, Audio-Technica logo. And I think this is the best way to wear them. I don't think there's anything wrong with this, but it's like you can't move your chin down. Ooh, ooh, ooh. But if you do this, you have almost 100% range of motion. Yeah. Can't touch your chest unless you kind of like get yourself a double chin. But yeah, this is the best way, and I think it's great that these are rotatable. You could also do something like this, where they're kind of, I don't know, something like that'd be kind of weird, I guess. Then that would kind of push up against your Adam's apple, so I would suggest not doing that. This is the best way. Or you could do this if you're like, I don't know, being really stupid. And yeah, these cups rotate 180 degrees, I think. Yeah, 180. These, and then they rotate this way 180. Yeah. So they're very flexible, and I absolutely love that. I don't get a chance to use it in that kind of way very often, especially since I've only had them for like a week. But I would imagine if I were walking around town, I was like, look how cool I am. Yeah. Look at me. I can twirl my little cable. Then I would probably wear them like this. Okay, so the review's getting pretty long now. Let's speed it up. So we got this coil cable. This, I would suggest you get the coil cable. Definitely, definitely, definitely. This is very awesome. It makes it much shorter. I'd say basically here's the end of the coil. You might not be able to see it. It's kind of right where my finger is. So it coils for a good 2 feet maybe, and it can extend much longer, obviously. And then you got about 4 or 5 feet of the straight cable, and then you have like another foot on the other end, and that leads to the 3.5 millimeter adapter for your headphone jack. And I also forgot to get this out. Here's the 3/4 inch adapter for like your amp or something, or just any kind of sound equipment that you have. You just kind of put it on. Don't try to do it. Oh! And then it twists. And then you can tell that it's on as soon as it's 6 of these little bands in a row. And this plugs in straight into, your adapter. But I keep it off, obviously, because I don't have my amp here at school. So. But that would be really nice, actually. I'm thinking about bringing it next year, my guitar and everything. So that's great. This connection is awesome. It has this nice coil, let's see, what should I call it? Coil metal band on the end. That's a good word. And the gold 3.5mm adapter, and then this really heavy duty protector, I guess, of the end of the cable. It's all very, very sturdy, very top-notch quality. And let's see, anything else? If you guys have questions about these, if you want me to go more in depth, I would be glad to answer any questions you have. If you'd like to just see them off my head or see them on my head, this is what they look like. Pretty cool. Let's see. Maybe I could talk about the noise isolation real quick. The noise isolation in this is pretty good. It's not the best, but I mean, if you really want something like that, you'd probably go for noise canceling from like some Bose headphones, or just any noise canceling headphone. Those are active, and so they will actually cancel the noise from outside, and then you won't be able to hear it. But I mean, if I had these on, then I can still hear myself talking, and it's not just because it's from myself, but if someone else were talking and I wasn't playing any music, then I would be able to hear them. But if I listen to music, it's actually pretty good. You won't be able to hear not that many outside noises if you're playing music, even like at half volume. It's very good isolation when the music is playing. But if you're just wearing them on, you can still hear people, and that's probably a good thing. You still want to be able to hear people talk to you or something when you're not listening to music, and so that's good. Shoot, I got pencil marks in here. That's not good. I need to get that off. I need to erase it. Well, this has been my review of the Audio-Technica ATH-M50 headphones. These are in white. They cost $170 or $169.99 at Amazon or wherever else you can want to get them. They can be found for a little bit less, but I will leave that up to you guys to find, because I doubt the coupon that I use works anymore. Again, any more questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. If you want me to do any more testing, like on video or something, I'd be glad to. Just, again, let me know in the comments. And also, while you're at it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I already told you to comment, but if you just want to say, hey, these are awesome or whatever, or I hate your white shirt, you can leave a comment saying that, and I'll be happy to read it. So I'll see you guys in the next video.